Hey, welcome back. So, in this episode, episode 7, I'm going to talk about routines and checklists or lists. So, in the earlier episodes, I talked a little bit about routines. Okay, you want to have your routine written out. Okay, so if you have a morning routine, just have it written out step by step of what you need to do. Be precise in your language. So you know if I need to meditate for 15 minutes, for example, or you don't need to write down brush my teeth. Like you should be able to know that. So don't get too wrapped around the axle on what to do and how to do it. Because then you start getting into this paralysis of analysis. And this happens a lot. You'll notice this too, like even in your brain dumping and when you're putting tasks up on the board or in your task manager or even in your notepad or your scheduling notebook, or even if you're putting it in your task management app on your phone, is that you can start overdoing it. So keep it simple, keep the wording very simple, and also allow it to let you know what to expect. So for example, get milk. Get milk's a great one, but does it know like what kind of milk? Is it almond milk? Is it soy milk? Is it milk for Is it milk for your house? Is it milk for your employers? Is it milk for your workplace, like for the coffee? It could be anything. So make sure you put that in. Just because when you read it, you want to read it as if someone else can read it and they know exactly what to do. I mean, you might know what to do with it, but something changes. Something shifts in 2 to 3 hours, or sometimes 2 to 3 days after you write a task. And this is like, get keys. And you'll have no idea which keys. Keys for what? Get keys in order to do what? To perform what task? So always ask yourself when you write a task in, what happens next? What's next? What happens after that? So for a morning routine, what are you going to do after your morning routine? Is it go to work? Is it start day? Is it review tasks? So for example, myself, I wake up, I do a morning meditation, I make some coffee, I eat breakfast, and then I do a morning breakdown of my tasks. I start planning it out and I make a strategy within the day of which tasks need to get done. So that's the basic intro. Then I have my gym. Like I have exercises that I need to do for my gym. Like I'm on an exercise plan. So I know I have to do 3 sets of flat bench presses. You know, I have to do some inclines. I have to do some decline, chest presses, or a bench press. So I know that I have certain exercises to do. I don't want to consciously think about that. I want it just to be written down out of my head and on a simple, even if it's a Moleskine thing. I have like a workout book. There's also an app that you can get. I have to look at the name of it, but there's several exercise apps that just walk you through it. It's very easy. So the whole point is, remember, you might have heard me say this earlier, and I use this as a psychological fact. This is what we use in hypnosis too, is that the human mind can only consciously process 5 to 7 items or thoughts or things at one time, plus or minus 2. The reason why I say plus or minus 2 is some people are better at this. They trained at it, but something drops off after that 7th or 9th or sometimes 5th item, and the quality of our attention, the quality of our focus seems to delay, and it doesn't get done to the level or the quality or the efficiency that we wanted to get it done. So one thing that we do, the whole reason why we're doing this system the way it is because we're writing it to where we don't have to think about it. We're writing it down, we're processing it into a system, or whether that's in the notebook, the Moleskine, whether that's on your little day-to-day planner, whether that's on your sheet, your notebook that you keep for maybe notes. But if it's not written down, it didn't happen. So that's why you have to write it all down. Now, I like to write it down, and then I go back in and I add it to an app that I have on my phone. It's called Todoist. I have that on my app. I have that app downloaded on my phone. I have it on my laptop, and I also have it on my iPod or my iPad. Sorry. So I have that on all my devices because I might have my computer. I can do my tasks there. If I'm at the DMV or I'm waiting in line somewhere, I can do my tasks on my phone. And then we'll get into more about how you can use labels and certain areas to draw attention to it. So by having a daily routine and a daily process and also having checklists, you lessen the stress because you don't have to remember. You can just go through and check. If you have multiple checklists, I suggest just getting a notebook or use it. You can actually set it up inside your Todoist. That's one way of doing it. And just making a daily routine to do. I have that for myself. But if you have a checklist and you just have I suggest getting a small dry erase board, $10, maybe $20 at Office Depot or Office Max or any of those places. But what you do is that you would be able to get a dry erase pen and just go off and then just get a label maker. If you don't have a label maker, again, another $20. But you can get a label, get a sticker, stick it on, and then just check off as you go through the day. And that way, you don't miss anything. The whole point of this is to remember and not have to remember, not have to burn excess calories, not have to burn excess brain power to try to remember. It's out there. So that way you can remember the important stuff and you can be more conscious. So how can we convert this into real life? I'll say this. What's one checklist that I have, or a list? You want to start building lists. So I have a list of books to read. So when I finish a book, I already know the next book I'm going to read. Or somebody referred to a book to me. There's a friend of mine who's a doctor in North Carolina, and The End of Evil in the World, I think is the name of it. And I just have not gotten around to it. But I have it saved on my phone, in my Todoist, on my computer, on my iPod, on my iPad. I have it all saved there because then now I can go back and read it. And I can also go, hey, thanks for referring that book to me. I just finished it and it was really good. That's simple. So this helps you stay organized. I also have a date list. I have a list of dates that I want to take my girlfriend on. So whenever she contacts me, I already know what I'm going to take her on a date to, or what my options are, or certain locations, like certain Japanese ramen, not top ramen, but Japanese ramen restaurants here in the city. I already know, I want to take her to this place. And there's a Taiwanese ice cream parlor right down the street. I want to have that kind of organization because it puts her at ease. It lets me be the leader and let her know that I have a plan, and she can relax in that too. So use those keys. You can use that in your life. If you're a man or a woman, does not matter. But having a plan makes other people look to you for leadership. So if you have any questions, hit the subscribe button, if you have any questions, hit comments down below. Leave them down below. If you want to follow this and get more updates, hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. Share this with somebody. But again, daily routines. Just make a list, a day-to-day list that you read every day or in a certain environment, your workout, your shopping lists. We'll talk more about lists, but make sure you have that piece of paper that you can read over and over again. It's almost like a reoccurring task, but it's a routine. So it's a little different, but at the same time, it sets you up for success and you're getting your goals achieved. Talk to you soon.